It's Friday, December 2nd, 2016, and you're wondering, how does Kris Kemp spend his Friday night? I know this question has been gnawing at the inside of your guts for the last week, so I'm going to answer your question. Generally what I do is sometime in the afternoon or even in the morning, I will find out what's going on Facebook events. I will go to eventbrite.com and type in dancing, type in parties, and there's usually a plethora of free parties and parties that are like under $5, art gallery events. There's a lot of stuff to do here in New York City. So even though the people say the city is expensive to live in, that's not necessarily true. Rent is expensive, but besides that, there's tons of free things to do. And once you live here, you find out what those things are. When you do not live here, typically you do not know what they are. So let's get on with how I spent my Friday night, because you're fascinated. And I'm about to take a shower, so there's a towel around me. And the door, doesn't lock. Someone might walk in, so I'm holding up the towel. Let's get a little flashy. Towel. Any case. So tonight there was an event at the Czech Center. Czechcenter.com. It's this center in the Upper East Side, and they have like films, they have art events, they have screenings, they have music concerts. It's a really cool place. It's a 5-story building with stairs and an elevator. They have a little rooftop. Tonight they premiered a film, Loud A Solitude. It was a 17-minute short film by Genevieve Anderson, and the film is all with puppets. And the film was excellent. Toward the end of the film I was crying. I was almost crying a little bit. And it was just very moving, and I was enchanted by it. It was just great. Afterwards, there was a question and answer with Genevieve Anderson. She's in the process of turning this film into a feature-length film. So she's in the process of getting funding for that and getting a team together. Any case, so I'm taking the train to the Upper East Side to go to the Czech Center, and I'm walking from the number 6 train, and I see there's all this trash out, and I look, and there's this like beautiful toaster oven. So I pick up the toaster oven, I walk to the Czech Center with the toaster oven, and it's totally clean, looks brand new. And the lady at the Czech Center was like, "Would you like me to hold your toaster oven for you?" I was like, "Okay, cool, awesome." So she's not checking my coat, she's checking my toaster oven, which is sweet of her. So I give her my toaster oven, she like puts it by the table. I proceed to go in. I don't really talk to anyone, I'm just taking pictures of what's going on, which I'll be posting on my website, kriskemp.com. And then I sit down and watch a film. It was amazing. I asked a question about how long it takes to do a scene, and they said because it wasn't stop motion puppetry, it only took 5 days to do the film, because they were doing it like in real time. They have sticks attached to the puppet. It's still a great film. Go to loudasolitude.com to check it out, or the trailer at least. So afterwards we go upstairs and walk up the stairs, and they have like some hors d'oeuvres and some wine. I have some wine. I'm getting a bit chatty. I met Marie, who's a director at the Czech Center. I'm talking to Genevieve, the girl who put together the movie, Genevieve Anderson. I met the producer, I forgot what his name is. And it was a cool time. So I'm chatting a bit, drinking some wine, eating some hors d'oeuvres. People are starting to leave after about an hour and a half, so I say my goodbyes, exchange some numbers with some people, and leave. I retrieve my toaster oven, give the front desk lady a hug for holding my toaster oven. She's like, "Oh, you can just go down to CVS and they'll get put in a big bag for you." So I walk down to CVS, and they're playing this Bee Gees song. I'm a little drunk, so I just started singing the song. They get some people singing the song in CVS. The clerk lets me use a couple bags, which is very nice of them, and lets me have a couple bags, put the toaster oven in the bags. I leave the CVS happy that I have my toaster oven in a bag, and I walk toward the number 6 train. I get on the 6 train, and there's a black guy in the corner, and he's smoking a cigarette, and the door's closed. I'm like, I'm on the 6 train in the subway in New York City, southbound, heading downtown, and there's a guy smoking in the corner. I'm like, And everyone's just kind of like, people are either ignoring it or just looking at him with angry stares, but he just doesn't care. He's just smoking away. So the train's moving, and I walk toward one end of the train, open the doors, and go to the next train. A couple of people follow me. It's like lame, right? I'm sitting in that train, and as soon as we go to the next stop, which is 68th Street, we're heading downtown. A lot of the people that are on that train, they walk out of that train, they enter the train that I'm in, they're complaining about the smoking, right? They get in that train, we're on the 6th train, the doors closed, we're headed downtown. Thank God we got away from the guy who was smoking in the other train, right? The train starts heading downtown, and then the doors open from the other train, the train we escaped, and a guy comes in, and it was, this guy had no legs. And at first I thought it was like a little kid, because it's almost like R2-D2. R2-D2 from the original 1977 Star Wars movies. He just has 2 hands. Hang on a second. So I'm going to tell, I can't really do this, but he has like 2 hands, and he's just going like this, like this, like this, like this. And I'm like, is this guy faking it? And then I look, and he doesn't appear to have any legs. And he just goes from train to train. And I gave him $2, and a lot of other people gave him, dollar bills or a couple dollars in this can. And, good. I hope the guy makes a bucket, like a ton of money. It's kind of heartbreaking, right? So then he just goes from one train to the next train. The train stops, people get on, people get off. The train continues, and then this other guy comes to the train. He's like tall. He's like 6'5". He's about 250 pounds, and he looks like this background actor, this extra that I know. This guy appears to be like Hispanic, and he's wearing this like huge, like, it looks like a tarpaulin, like a moving company blanket. And he's like singing. He's like, oh, I need some money. Oh, I need some money. He's walking to the train. I'm like, oh man, like one thing after the other. And this guy's annoying everybody because he's such a big guy. He's like the size of a refrigerator. He's walking to the train, and it's kind of like narrow in aisles, in this big blanket. You don't know where it's been. It's like touching people, and people are like giving him like angry looks. It's just bizarre. Anyway, yeah, so, the 6th train ends up at 14th Street, Union Square. I transfer to the L train. I'm back here in Bushwick now. And that's my night, it's kind of fun, kind of interesting. I'll probably post some pictures along with this video to kriskemp.com. If you enjoyed this, consider leaving a donation on the PayPal button. If you didn't enjoy it, just send me an email at bicycledays@yahoo.com. That's BICYCLEDAYS. Send me an email at bicycledays@yahoo.com. And let me know if you have a topic you'd like me to talk about. I have a variety of interests, and maybe I can answer your questions or help you in some way. Thanks again. Have a good night, and God bless.